Ah! Got ya. I got ya. Freddy Krueger, it's cool. Yeah, fuck off. Hey. Hello, it is I, Ryan Aldi Comics. And I am coming to you in person for a change, through the first time in the month of Spook. Except for teaser if you want to count that. Today I thought I'd share something a bit personal with you. Something horror related, kind of horror related. Which was meant for children. And what do we call ourselves when we're children? That's not the right word to put it, but it was our childhoods. And one word goes after childhood when thinking of scary stuff. Trauma. All of us should have at least one form of childhood trauma, whether it come from some sort of media, a book. Does book go into media? Something must have shook us to our wee little cores back when we were young, small children. So I thought I would weave you a tale of my own childhood trauma from back once many ago. And I got this from watching a children's British television show, which aired on CITV between, I'm not going to Wikipedia if I can't be asked. If you're interested, you'll find out what I'm watching soon. But let me take you back to the tales of yesteryear. This isn't a tale, this is just my life. So yeah, kind of a tale. Let's cut to a story. Back when I was a small, frail child back in primary school, as you could tell, I probably didn't have many friends to hang around with. Big shock. So, what I used to do, I used to constantly just watch shows and play games of all media. I used specifically watch cartoons, as many of my games I just ended up playing like the same 5 over and over, so I just watched shows, cartoons really. I would watch the old Tom and Jerry and What's New Scooby-Doo on Boomerang, The Amazing World of Gumball on Cartoon Network, and a shit ton of Rugrats on Nicktoons on Nickelodeon, which one it was on. Nick Jr. I think actually. But those were specific channels. You couldn't get that if you only had a Freeview telly in the UK. For those people, they only had CBBC, CBeebies. My friend told me he had Boomerang, but I don't remember that. And CITV. CITV, I don't like. I don't really like many of the British broadcasting channels, but for children, but CITV. It had like 2 good shows. Horrid Henry, which I'll only say is a decent show if you catch me in a good mood. But Jungle Run. Jungle Run was a fantastic show, which needs more love and respect. CITV, bring back Jungle Run or I will. Anyway, there was another show that was aired on CITV, which actually made its way into Nicktoons many years later. Same with Horrid Henry. I don't know why the British Nicktoons takes CITV shows. Don't ask me why. So we always cross over. It's weird. If you've seen the channels and the episode layouts of different cartoons on the different networks, you know what I mean. This has nothing to do with the story. I apologise. Let me go back. Anyway, as a young child, I wanted to watch Horrid Henry on CITV one day. So I flipped over and my mother started watching it with me. However, there was a show on before Horrid Henry started. This show would be the epitome of me and traumatise me for years to come. We watched it. The show was very gothic for a children's show, as something I hadn't seen before up until then. Cartoons used to be all bright and colourful, especially the ones I watched. However, this had a very dark tone to it, especially to me being 5-year-old. I was used to Mario and Gumball and all these colours and everything. Well, this was dark, brooding, and uncannily sinister. I watched it on and forth, because I didn't want to make myself look like a complete pussy in front of my mother, despite knowing full well I was a pussy. We continued to watch, and the show started with a weird stop-motion look, then cutting to a flash story that looked like it was made on MS Paint. Very weird. Then the ending happened with another stop-motion segment. I can't remember what episode this was, or what happened, or anything. I just remember, it shook me. And you would think that would have caused me to cry, but it didn't. What did, however, was when I turned to my mother, and she thought it would have been very funny. I look up to her, and she slowly looks like this back to me. And that was when I cried. That was the final nail in the coffin of my traumatic experience watching CITV. 10 years later, however, I remembered this show. I picked up my big boy pants of 15 years old and scoured the internet for it. Turns out many an episode were free on YouTube. I watched one. And even at the age of 15, it was alright. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It was alright. By the age of 15, it still made me jump. Shitty jump scare horror, it's bullshit, I hate it. Nah, I'm kidding. It was quite a clever scare, to be fair. I wasn't expecting it. So I thought to myself, why not share this classic children's show with many of you on the internet? Some of you may remember it, and some of you may not have a clue what I'm talking about. But today, ladies and gentlemen, I feel like we should delve into what scared me shitless as a child. But, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, you're about to watch an episode with me of a show titled Grisly Tales for Gruesome Kids. I'm going to try and take different clips from the show because I don't want to get copyrighted if that's even possible. I mean, I don't know how this shit works. I just want to make funny content. But, yeah. Let's delve in to this piece of shit. It's actually very good. I don't know why I'm keep shitting on it. I still haven't forgiven the show after 15 fucking years. Well, I've pulled up the full playlist for the 73 episodes that are free on YouTube. I don't know. I think it has way more episodes, but I'm not 100%. But that's all there is on YouTube, and I can't be asked like scouring anymore. So I'm just gonna. I don't know where it starts. I'm just gonna flick through some episodes, see what catches my eye, and just go and watch that one. There's a 2-part episode. I'm not watching that. I'm not going to be watching 20 minutes of this. I'm just surprised it was actually like 2 parts for an anthology series. What? E-Boy? E-Boy! Let's watch E-Boy. This scream screen. Oh, creepy fucking hand. Who is this child? Why is he just... But why? He still is creepy as shit. Oh my god.
You are welcome to Grisly Tales for Gruesome Kids.
That voice was awesome. You are welcome to Grisly Tales for Gruesome Kids. I love that. I love the narrator voice already. The character model still puts the shits up me. I fucking hate that model. He's so lanky and unnerving. It's fucked up. Look at that thing. It's not like the Creep from Creepshow or the Crypt Keeper in Tales from the Crypt. They are meant to be disfigured monstrous creatures, where he just looks... He's human, but he doesn't look natural. I hate it so much. And you know what? Fair play. I think that's what the whole point of the character was. Fair play. He also blew up a torch. I don't... But... Sure.
Lovers of
No.
I call this tale E-Boy. His name was Eric.
What the fuck?
Or Bloodthirst the Battle Axe, to give him his full game name. He had big bulbous eyes.
He's a fucking gamer. He be gaming. Do you know gaming? He be gaming.
From living in the dark, and wide flat fingertips from bashing buttons.
Wide flat fingertips. Been there.
Actually,
I can skate.
Was his life.
He's an e-boy even if he can skate. This is the most accurate modern day representation episode of Grisly Tales I think that exists. Tell me I'm wrong.
Shop. I do lots of things. I fight alien invaders. I crash cars. I blow up planets. Yes, but you're only using your eyes and fingers. It's hardly exercise.
If you were doing this shit for real, then I wouldn't mind. Fucking boomers. They don't get us gamers. We don't need exercise or real life experience. As long as we're on our computers, using our mouses and keyboards, then we don't need the real world. God, Mum, get with it.
Computers are just slaves. People can choose what they do. And I choose to live with my computer. So stick that in your expansion port and smoke it.
Fucking burn. Can someone tell you what a fucking expansion port is? I mean, I've been using computers nearly all my life and I've never heard anyone use the word expansion port.
What can you get from a computer that you can't get from us? 64-bit graphics, a laser that fires 12,000 rounds per second, a head like a lizard and a body that's part tractor, part great white shark. Oh, fair enough.
Oh my god, I remembered the old animations being shit. This one's actually quite... It reminds me of the Horrible Histories and, like, illustrations. I think I picked a really fun episode. I was meant to try and scare myself. I picked a really dumb, funny episode.
Once the door was locked, Eric talked to his computer. Get me out of here! I want to live in cyberspace! The screen went blank.
What was he texting? What was he
Eric
typing
was
on?
about to reboot when two
Notepad?
words suddenly appeared on...
So why was the power button upside down? He has his 64 RAM graphics and his laser, but his fucking power button's upside down.
on the screen. Phantom Postman.
Oh no.
His stomach fell through the floor as he was dragged into the computer. And when he cried out, letters typed themselves out of his mouth. Help!
Ow.
He landed unforgivingly on a wide brick path. You have just been emailed.
Why is the flower
Announced an
talking?
automated voice. Suddenly burst into flames. No, no, I'll burn to death.
Stand still or I will delete you.
Eric stood still while the firewall consumed him. Ah! Ah! Oh, actually that's quite pleasant. It wasn't even slightly sore.
Oh.
He floated into the sky like burnt ash and slipped through a tear in the clouds.
Was I actually scared of a show, or was I just
He popped out of a letterbox.
having an acid trip? I must have just felt like I was on drugs for the first time, because... the fuck's going on?
Good morning, Eric. I'm your cyberspace assessment officer. Please stand on...
Grisly Tales for Gruesome Kids invented inflation fetishes.
So we have to strip you back to bare essentials. How are you going to do that? Worm therapy.
Worm therapy?
Sign here, in you go. What's happening? Don't worry, they won't eat anything you need.
Ugh.
When Eric shot out of the chute, there was very little of him left. His brain, one eye, and both hands.
Anything you won't need, eh?
You've got everything you need to live happily ever after in cyberspace. An eye to see, a brain to think, and fingers to type. Now hold on tight.
That's all he wanted.
And with that, Eric was shot through a portal onto a busy superhighway where thousands of brain boxes just like him were travelling in the same direction and floating in a sky of games.
It's that common.
Or it would have been had the computer not suddenly been invaded by a virus.
Holy shit!
Type in Postman. Postman. There. Now, how do I get my body back? Come back!
I think it's /postman. I'll have you know.
Less than 5 minutes after arriving in cyberspace, Eric was posted home. He squitted onto the
he's
desk
still the
in his
brain.
bedroom through an unused USB port and lay there like a stranded jellyfish. Surprisingly, Eric's mother was happy when she found him. At
What a
last,
bitch.
she had her son exactly where she wanted him, and there was nothing he could do about it. That's enough now, Eric. Good night. And just like every other night, she shut the bedroom door to stop the cat from sneaking in.
Locked him
When
in the
imagine
room.
if Casper mistook Eric's eyeball for a goldfish.
Eee.
Oh, the thought's just too horrible for words.
Fucking hell. Fuck off. There was no need for that sudden jump. Firstly though, that story was actually pretty funny. It's really quite good actually. But I thought I was friends with Casper. It made me laugh too much to be considered scary. I hope others are like more terrifying. Like Goosebumps. Goosebumps was a show that like had its mainly funny episodes, but then there was a few like flat out scary ones that many people recall being quite traumatizing. But I just found that one because I found the title funny. But yeah, after watching that, I feel like I should completely change my life. All these games and computers, I don't want to turn it into a brain box. Was he just using a notepad to type that, or was he just typing it onto his desktop? I need to know these details. Alright, this is the end, and let's see what fucking old... I don't even know his name. Fuck him. I hate him. See what he has to say. Turns out he didn't have to say anything. It was the very end. He just laughed. Maybe that might have been the bit that scared me when I was younger. Just him popping up out of nowhere going... But I swear, one of the ones I watched a couple of years ago, literally, like, a little segment of him, like, going over, like, yes, you learn that lesson now. And then it's like, see you next time, or some shit like that. I thought it was a longer end segment, but must just wrong episode. But yeah, that was Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids. Now, did I overreact when I was a child? Probably. To be fair, the animation was a lot better than I remember. I don't know if it actually swapped from episode to episode, but I remember the animation looking a lot more like just really bad. Sounded like, you know, like it just reminded me like old MS Paint art. But that one was quite animated quite well, to be honest. Despite for what it was anyway. It was only a low budget like, kids show anyway. Yeah. It still caused me to jump because there's no reason for him to just pop out of nowhere with his creepy ass face. And yeah, I was saying it, he's still one of the creepiest fucking characters I've ever seen. He honestly traumatizes the shit out of me. He traumatized the shit out of me back then, and he still scares me now, basically. He's just so unnatural, it's boggling to the mind. Yeah, we'll go with that. Was the show actually good though? It made me laugh. It was very British humour, if you couldn't tell, like, the way the characters talked, and, like... I think many of your episodes, like, have, like, proper British dialogue, like, lingo, but that one sort of used, like, PC terms and techno-whiz literature, you know what I'm saying? No you don't. The show didn't know. They called it, what was the word? Expansion port? What the fuck is an expansion port? The N64 had an expansion pack, but that's completely different. That's something you put in, where a port is like the hole to put in. Yeah, you can tell I know my computers. Anyway, that was me rewatching Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids. This show terrified me as a child, and honestly, no matter what episode I'd watch, if that fucking the stop motion model will always creep me out. the opening, the end will always scare me, but to be fair, the actual story tales, if you want to, grisly tales, if you want to call it, are actually quite funny and just mind fucking scrambled. Like, they just go off doing what they want to batshit insane. Yeah, that was something different. This video was a bit lazy, but fuck it. Yeah, this was quite fun. I just thought, you know what, might as well share my thoughts about something that had a big impact on me as a kid, so yeah. If you actually enjoyed this, you have nothing better in your life. Take it or leave it. But thanks for watching nonetheless. Be good people, and see you later.